Hello, everybody, and welcome to the End Step. Maria Bartholdi, Rich Hagan, and Simon Gertzen here hanging out with you after day 2 here, wrapping up in our top 8 announcement at Pro Tour Dominaria. And it is time for our card of the day. Simon, you picked Teferi.
Teferi, hero of Dominaria. It's a 3-mana planeswalker, right?
Yes.
Drawing an extra card every turn, and if you give a control deck the ability to untap 2 lands every turn, that's just amazing if you want to counter, if you want to play more card draw, or if you get to untap as Kanta.
And we saw this card come down onto the table, and sometimes that was the card that swung the game.
Yeah, it's a win condition if you want to use it that way. It takes over the game. You can even just play multiple, one after the other, just chaining them effectively. And this card is really the deciding factor in most matchups that the blue-white decks play.
Okay, well, it'll be interesting to see whether Teferi can still be the card of the day tomorrow, because there's only one deck with Teferi left standing. What about the team series, though? We're closing in on the finale for that at our next Pro Tour, so Brian David Marshall has been doing some significant number crunching.
Rich, it's you know what? This isn't even number crunching at this point. This is spirit crunching, because Reed Duke made a heroic effort here on the part of his team. He started out this tournament 1-4, and you know, everything you hear about Reed, everything people say about Reed, it's all true. You know, he just fought back, rattled off 11 straight wins from that point to get himself way up into the standings, get a whole bucket of points for Team Ultimate Guard. But also, of course, it's Owen Turtenwald. He's in the top 8. This is his 5th top 8. We might hear a little bit more about him after this.
Thanks so much, BDM. Awesome stuff to see. Well, Tim and Riley are standing by on the floor for our match of the day.
Tim, another huge day of Magic here at Pro Tour Dominaria. I know you've kept a close eye on how things were in the feature match area, and you've got a couple of matches of the day lined up for us, starting off with Limited.
Yeah, it's been a busy old day in our feature match area, and I have to kick things off with one of the more unusual drafts we've ever seen in Pro Tour history. There were a stunning number of Planeswalkers opened in our opening draft in this second day. Andrea Mengucci ending up with both Khan and Teferi. Either one you'd be very happy with. He had both, but in the first round he had to play against the GOAT, the greatest of all time, John Finkel. And while Finkel did not have any Planeswalkers, he did have a plan. It is an excellent match to start off your day if you're looking for a little bit of Magic to check out. Just absolutely incredible play from him to navigate his way around 2 Planeswalkers.
And certainly for both you and I, from the booth and on the floor here, there was one player during the constructed rounds that really stood out to both of us for his precision, his poise, his play. It really was the Jones show for the backstretch of the standard portion.
Yeah, Kevin Jones, even though he didn't make the top 8 in this tournament, he was showing off exemplary play, communication, play skill, tactical deduction throughout most of this afternoon. I would say that some highlights for him, the penultimate round where ultimately it did end up in an unintentional draw, some very, very tight play from him there, some lovely communication, a judge call where he was really fighting his corner to prove that he had a lower life total than his opponent thought he did. And then, of course, that last round, there were very few players that would have navigated the turns that he did in order to make sure he had, for example, Champion of Wits in the graveyard where he did. Just fantastic play from Kevin Jones. If you're looking for real details of how to play Control, you could do a lot worse.
Thanks so much, Tim and Riley, for our match of the day. Well, what about our player of the day? It's certainly somebody who is no stranger to the top 8.
Thanks, Maria. Our player of the day, of course, Owen Turtenwald. Owen's having a great weekend, and you know, it's really been a great season for Team Ultimate Guard. Not a lot of top 8 finishes before this. You had Reed last time out, but you guys have been at the top tables all the way through this season, right?
Yeah, we've just been doing great. I mean, at the first Pro Tour, I lost playing for top 8. Huey made the top 32. Reed was like somewhere in the top 16. One Pro Tour later, we got Reed in the top 8. John gets 9th. One Pro Tour later, I get top 8, and there's a smattering of Pantheon and Ultimate Guard Pro Team players in the top 32. I mean, we've just done phenomenally well. I'm proud of everyone.
And I'm sure they're really proud of you, because you know what? You just got your 5th Pro Tour top 8 in a 11, 12-year career. It feels like just yesterday you were qualifying and getting to Pro Tour Valencia. It seems it's really it's really crazy to me how time has flown, but talk to me about what's going through your head in round 14 as you get to that point where you're able to lock up this berth.
I'd say the number one thing going through my head was, wow, I hope my opponent stays mana screwed. Because I played a duress, and it was such that if he drew lands in the next couple of turns, he was going to play the Scarab God, and if I drew a land the next turn, I was going to play Chandra, and it was just a race to whichever one of our cards decided the game, and he did not have lands. Luckily, he actually made the top 8 anyways, so.
Oh, so that's great.
Yeah.
He gets another crack at you, maybe.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, rematch, let's go, bring it.
Now, again, 5th top 8, and I remember when Huey got his 5th top 8, after getting into the Hall of Fame, he kind of felt like, okay, this is a big number. This is my 3,000 hits in baseball, or, a scoring record. How does it feel for you as someone who I know is keenly aware of, the greats of the game?
Well, for me, it's not really about hitting any kind of like benchmark number of results or even any kind of results individually, because I know that there's a little bit of randomness in it, and sometimes great players don't win. But for me, it's just about doing the best that I can. I just want to go, and I want to be confident, and I want to be happy with how I perform, and I want to set a good example, and I want to show people like, hey, if you're going to really try hard and do well, like this is a nice way to do it, or here's a nice way to lose and not be mean to your opponent. I mean, anything I can do to, continue enjoying Magic and loving it. This is what it's all about, man. The Pro Tour. I love it.
I can tell you, I interview a lot of players up here, and I can tell you have served as an inspiration for hard work leading to success.
Yeah.
Multiple people have cited your performance over the last couple of years to me, so great job on that. Great job on 5 Pro Tour top 8s, and great job on Ultimate Guard just pulling away here in the team series. I'm really excited to see if you guys can make it to that top 2 teams in the World Championship this year.
No, I mean, it's one thing to win and for everyone to say great job, but to win and to have people say like, I was rooting for you, you're my favorite player, like you deserve it. It's like that kind of stuff. I mean, that's better than winning, honestly.
All right, awesome, but let's see if we can also win it.
That's my goal.
Still looking for a trophy here at the Pro Tour. Owen Turnwald, he's going to get his chance, his 5th chance, tomorrow at Pro Tour Dominaria.
5th chance for Owen Turnwald, the most decorated player in the top 8. But Simon, Maria, let's take a look at our final leaderboard of the day. This is where things come down to. And as you can see, it was a clean cut at 12-3-1. No one got in on 36 points this time around. So we have Kazuyuki Takamura of Japan, Owen Turnwald from the United States, Thomas Hendricks of the Netherlands, Ernest Lim from Singapore, Gonzalo Pinto from Portugal, Wyatt Darby from the United States, Manuel Lenz from Austria, and finally Marcio Carvalho from Portugal. Simon, the metagame, we touched on Teferi earlier in the show. There is one Esper control list left against one mid-range, Kazuyuki Takamura, and 6 some kind of red aggro, red-black aggro or mono-red aggro. Does the Teferi deck or the mid-range have the tools to overtake the 6 speedy red decks tomorrow?
That's exactly what we're going to find out. And it reminds me of the top 8 of GP Birmingham, where we had almost exactly the same situation. We had slightly slower red decks trying to prey on Bomet Courier, and we had a blue-white control in that case with Teferi trying to beat the Heart of Kiran Goblin Chainwhirler decks. And I think we will see something very similar, where the Esper control player, Ernest Lim, really has to show us, does he have what it takes to fight through a field like this? Or is it maybe Takemura's, let's say, a little bit diverging list that can take it down because he's punishing his opponents for playing the clearly powerful card Bomet Courier?
Do you think Goblin Chainwhirler is kind of the story of this top 8 here?
Well, I think it's the story of the tournament. I think I've said it in the beginning. You play Goblin Chainwhirler, you try to not play 1 toughness creatures, or you accept that you will lose games to Goblin Chainwhirler, and that's exactly what happened.
And so, as it always must, it comes down to a final 8. 450 will watch from the sidelines, and tens of thousands of you will watch live with us tomorrow as we head down the stretch of Pro Tour Dominaria. So who will make it in through the door? In the end, will it be Owen Turnwald of the United States in his 5th Pro Tour top 8? Will Marcio Carvalho get there? in number 4? Will it be Gonzalo Pinto in his first? Wyatt Darby in his first? Ernest Lim from Singapore taking it home there, first time round? Or Manuel Lenz, the Magic Online grinder from Austria, all in their first time? Will Thomas Hendricks take it for the Netherlands? Or will it be Portugal's Marcio Carvalho? Or Kazuyuki Takamura of Japan in his second top 8? Find out tomorrow, every turn of every match as it happens right here on the home of Magic. For everyone on the team, I'm Rich Haven, saying bye.